And gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good afternoon. I'm back. I know I'm sorry. I do apologize. I have not been alive in about a week or so, but neither some of you guys know what's happening. Some of you don't, but like I said, I'm hopefully I'm back. For a while. I know I got to get like two more surgeries as a hit, but other than that, like I said, I'm here right now. There's been some juicy news. I always, people say, what I mean, how you should give my first reaction, first one. Literally, I'm really just getting in the house about 2 hours ago. Got washed up, changed my robe. I'm here. I got D, aka the tech guy, which I named him. He's here to clear his name about the Ryzen chip and all that shit. He didn't say about the 4K switch. He's about to. Do I need some names? I've always needed names overdone. You know that. So we're going to talk about that. I'm here with my boy Kratos, the god of PlayStation. We're going to, like I said again, talk about these specs. So if one of you guys would be so kind as to inbox me the actual link of the article, because you guys are going to have to fill me in. I am what you call, I'll put the C in casual sometime, the C in Caucasian, so you guys are going to have to fill me and tell me what these nanometers and what all this stuff means. You know what I mean? And, and break it down to they say the simple man, you know what I mean? Hold the door! King of the North. So we're going to talk about it. Like I said, as you guys come in, hit the like button. We're going to have a little fun here today. And I'll probably go live later on today. My man Crap Gaming was talking, spilling some nonsense. I might be petty today. I don't know. I might be petty today. But anyway, what's going on with you, D? I haven't physically spoken to you on air in a minute. What's going on with you, brother?
Oh man, just chilling lately. I've been playing a lot of games.
D's been playing a lot of games. What you been playing? D, talk to me.
Oh man, I've been playing a lot of Devil May Cry.
How do you Devil May Cry? How do you like that game? Like I know I beat it.
I love that game. I'm almost at the end.
Who's your favorite character?
Kind of like Nero.
I don't know their names. I'm horrible with names. Which one is Nero?
Nero's with the arm.
I like my man with them. Did you get the motorcycle yet? The moon chucks and all that?
Yeah, of course.
Who's that? That's not Dante.
That's Dante.
That's Dante with the motorcycle and all that stuff.
Dante's a lot of fun. I think I'm invested into Nero because I wanted to get revenge for that nigga ripping off his arm. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Dante's fire too. The other character, it's so easy to play with, man.
Okay, I'm not going to tell you. Hold on 1 second. I'm not going to tell you. Let you get the plan. Let you see the end. But of course, it's going to be a twist. I forgot the other guys. I got the other guy that got the spirits and the demons and stuff, right?
V.
Okay. You play the three characters. You got the son, the Dante, the nephew. Let me hold you back in 1 second. One ear. All right. I'm sorry. Okay. But so you are enjoying. Like I said, I beat the game about a month and a half ago. But yeah, it is a good game. All right.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that game. And to be honest with you, I'm really on cloud 9 today. To be honest, I'm happy for these PlayStation specs that leaked out. I've been saying all of this stuff forever, and everybody's been calling me crazy. Everybody held me to my last Xbox One X prediction, which I got wrong, and I feel real good today, man. I remember even you recalling when I said it would have ray tracing on it. You said, "Man, that's a lot of mustard on a hot dog."
Bro, I'm gonna keep it funky, bro. I don't know what the fuck ray tracing is. I have a 2080 Ti, and I don't know what the hell a ray tracing is. I ain't this dumb man. As long as my games look better than what I previously had, I'm a very, very simple man. I put the C in casual. Somebody say put the C in Caucasian. Like I said, it is what it is. Kratos, what's going on with you, good brother? I haven't spoken to you. I'm always talking to Kratos, but what's going on with you, good brother?
No, I've been good, man. Can't complain, man. I woke up today with some great news. Feeling good. I had my coffee. I had my morning conference call with Yoshida and Sean Layton, and we got rolling, man.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. We getting the chat here. A whole bunch of shit ringing in my ear. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. What's going on? We can pay the bills right quick. Man? My brother AP this should say, "Yo, big up. I hit you up earlier. This is epic. I hope D here with you with his lion eyes." Rafe the Emperor. So what up, Z? The Emperor's here. I appreciate it, good brother. My man Hero Era, bang, though. Xbox is on suicide watch. We're going to talk about it. So again, shout out to each and every last one of you guys in the chat. If you be so kind as to hit the share button, we're going to have an entertaining show today. Listen, also, I want to say this here. The first time I'm saying it on air and getting a little ahead of myself. I promise you that I have something epic, something new. I'm always creating something new that we're doing in about 2 weeks. It's gonna be video game related, but it's something totally new. Like I said, I'm partnered with my brother Jay Kratos. Twitch just cut the check for about $1,500, so I'm gonna try to put that money back into the dog shit channel. It's gonna be something new, something fresh. So I hope you guys come along for that ride there. You know what I mean? But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I'm gonna talk about that later on. Going forward, also to Heath Stevens, can you reach out to me and give me your information? I want to see you and send you a shirt. You're always in the streams, and for those that have been, that's it. Your shirt should be here next week. I bought them and sent them out to you. Okay.
We definitely need to talk about it.
Oh man, we got a show today, baby. We got a show today, baby. We got a show today.
I got time today, player.
We got a show today, baby.
Because Microsoft the teeth kicked into this morning.
Ain't nobody get their teeth kicked. We ain't worrying about them specs, baby.
Man.
We're not worried about them specs.
Crack game on Suicide Watch, man.
Hey, post up.
You guys been preaching games all year. It's not about the hardware. Doesn't nobody care about the hardware? It's all about the content. They come out with these specs and can't no Dreams released today. Ain't nobody talking about Dreams.
Hey, post up.
It came out today. Ain't nobody talking about Dreams because they're talking about hardware that they said doesn't matter. People didn't buy the PS4 because of the specs. They buy it for the content. And ain't nobody talking about the content that released today. And everybody is hyped about specs and hardware that they told us doesn't matter.
Hey, post up. Let me ask you. Let me ask you this question. Who sent you, nigga? Who sent you?
What have you played in Dreams? What game have you created?
I showed you. I sent a screenshot. I've been playing Halo. Fuck this.
That wasn't no Halo.
Hey, wait, hold up.
That image is like a blue screen. That image is like a blue screen of death.
Hey, wait, hold on. Hey, what you say, D? I didn't hear you, D. What you say, D?
I said I think we just get right into the specs. Let's
do it.
Okay.
My bad, D. D. I came in and interrupt your flow. My bad, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna share. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share the screen. But hold on. Actually, I'm gonna share the screen right now. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna share the screen so everybody can see. We can see.
I know the chat missed me.
Oh, hold on. I just heard something bing in my ear. Somebody dropped the bill in there, but now I can't see it. I heard something go bing. I don't know what the hell it was. Okay. Oh, AP the shooter said, "Hey, yo, post up. Hope you ain't hanging." What you say? Hey, yo, post up. I hope you ain't hanging with the flat Earth. Hold on. Where did she go? Hope you ain't flat Earth choking yourself with the 360 power cord brick. Yeah.
Here we go.
All right. So since Z about to sign a 5-year extension, we're gonna talk about it. So anyway, talk to me. What are these specs? What do these specs mean? What I mean for the guy?
So it starts off with the CPU. Now it's been confirmed. Now it's not just Sony that confirmed it through that interview on Wired, Mark Cerny, but it was also Lisa Su. Okay. Now, I'll
CEO of AMD.
Yeah, the CEO of AMD. I'll tell you what she said before I ship with Sony on the next generation PlayStation console powered by a custom chip with AMD Ryzen Zen 2 and Radeon Navi architecture. And then from the article, this is what we get. I'm just going to do the bullet points here because the article's huge. I did a video on it today. You guys want to know anything on the article, like go to the video or see the link.
You just sent me the link. You just sent me the link.
Yeah, I just sent it to you. I'm just gonna go through the bullet points here, though.
All right, let me.
So the CPU, it's an 8-core AMD Ryzen based 7nm Zen 2 CPU.
All right, stop right there. What the hell does that mean?
So it's basically an 8-core 16-thread CPU. So you have 8 physical cores and then you have 16 threads. So it's multi-threaded.
2 thread per core.
With an 8-core CPU, you're not gonna have any problems achieving 60 frames per second. It's like light years beyond the shitty Jaguar cores that we've been dealing with this whole generation. And it's on 7nm too, so it's a lot more efficient. It's smaller, so they'll be able to clock it really high, and you're gonna get a lot of performance out of it. Like you couldn't ask for a better CPU in a console, to be honest.
So and then from there it gets better. Be more powerful than the Xbox that's coming out.
Well,
No.
Okay, I'll get into these specs. Let's not talk about the Xbox yet. Let's just get into these specs. Now, the GPU is a Radeon Navi based GPU, so a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's not going to have Navi. It's going to have Vega, or it's going to have something else." Now it's been confirmed that it's going to be Navi, and of course, we know Navi is 7 nanometers. We don't know the complete performance metrics of Navi, but it's gonna be high. You know, I would be the console should be able to do 4K 60 high setting easily.
Wait. Okay, all right. Now, 4K high settings, all right. All right, and here's this is my specialty. The consoles that we got now, that we have now, whether it's Pro, whatever the case, in terms of carrying it to a PC, it says mid settings, low settings, like, you know what I mean, just so we can compare the two.
It's more. I would say with the Xbox, it's more of like kind of high settings. Most of the games are on high settings, and then they tweak some things like medium, and then the odd thing might be at the low setting. So
it's actually kind of hard to do a size
Hello.
environment, so you can do more with that without having all the additional resources running in the background. And with the PC, obviously, it has more grunt of the hardware, so you don't really have to kind of worry about that.
So it's
kind of hard.
Running in the
Yeah, it's kind of hard. If I had to average it out, though, I would say that it's probably closer to the high settings.
Okay, okay. So here's a question again, right? And then we talk about from a guy that's a super duper casual. And again, shout out to everybody who's in the chat. You'd be so kind as to tweet it out. Here's the question again. So comparing, because this is how I judge my console, even my TVs. And so I always give Davies props about this. Normally, I would say I will get a TV every year, and I will buy a TV according to the bezel, how I look, right? I didn't care about the input lags and the nits and stuff. I always bought a TV, you know what I mean, as long as it looked better than what I just had, and I was fine with that. Now, even like I said,
looked at the bezel.
I'm being honest. I'm being honest. I would listen, like, again, and not to throw shade. You know, when it was crazy when Hardy told me he was the 4K, but I bought TVs every goddamn year. It's nothing. But I will buy a TV according to how it look. They got a red bezel, this bezel, whatever the case may be, right? Now, even with console, and this is the truth, even he said with the quote unquote the casual, that doesn't know all the techie stuff like you guys. Will we notice a difference? Or I'll give an example. When we went from the 360 and the PS3 to the PlayStation 4, right?
Yeah.
And the Xbox One, we judge games by what we see. And the first thing that caught our eyes on the Sony side of King, it was the Killzone, right? On the Microsoft side of things, it was Rise Son of Rome, right? Or I remember what caught my eye was first time me seeing particle effects in Killer Instinct when he thought the Jago Shadow would throw the fucking fireball and the fire would break up. We didn't have that the previous generation. So from us going from the PS4 and the Xbox One to the PS5 or even the Xbox Scarlet, whatever the name is going to be, right? Are we going to notice a big difference? The reason why I say that, because again, the leap, in my opinion, maybe we're starting to see now, from the 360 to the X1 or the PS4, wasn't that big of a leap from the PS2 to the PS3, the original Xbox to the 360. Maybe we went from standard high definition 40i, 40p to 720p or 1080i. That was like, oh shit. I always give you guys this an example, that old shit moment. Remember in Gears of War, the first time you run up the steps and you get that chainsaw kill? Is this going to be a bigger leap over than like the casual can say? Shit,
this is almost a quantum leap over.
Listen, hardware wise, yes, it's a huge leap. Now here's the thing: at the end of the day, right? We've seen this generation with the X. It really just depends on the developers and what their craft can make. Look at God of War, Days Gone, and all these. Look at all these other Sony exclusives running on 1.86 T flops and what they were able to do. Mm-hmm. So if you get those same studios cranking out games with 10, 12, 13, 14 T flops, it should be 10 times better, right?
Mm-hmm. I was just about to say the same thing, Kratos. Like these developers, you're right. I love my Xbox, but there's no denying that Sony's exclusives have been just fantastic this generation. And the level of fidelity and polish on their games is bar none. You're right. They did this with 1.8 teraflops, much less they have 14 teraflops at their disposal. Those games are just going to look incredible.
Let me pay the bills right quick. Hold on 1 second. Shout out to my brother Stuart Stokes. Shout out to him for resubscribing to the channel. Hey, Stuart, I couldn't, for whatever reason, I'm sorry, I'm just, not to slow the show down. I couldn't get your address. I'm going to give you my phone number. I have your shirt being shipped to my house. I'm going to have my wife wheelchair my handicapped ass into the post office as soon as it touches down here. I'm going to call you on the phone, and I'm going to give you your address to the post office. So your shirt is coming to my home first, and then I'm going to, same thing with you, Dirty Tree Rock. It's coming to my home first, and then I'm from there. I'm going to ship it from my house to you guys. Behold, AP the Shooter. He said, all you Xbox lost up, mad that we happy about the specs Sony showed, what they could do with this small specs, and the X showed this dog shit. Sea of Thieves, I got some question again. Hold on, we gonna talk about this. Sea of Thieves with 16 flops. Xbox or the rich kids with the fast cars that can't drive. God damn it, AP the Shooter. God damn, AP the Shooter, the looter. Hold up, and also shout out to C-Dub.
AP just killed us. What's going on, boys?
Hey,
Yo, what up, Sean?
Hold on, one more bill. Shout out to AP C-Dub 357 for to resubscribing to my dog shit channel. I appreciate it, good brother. That shit means the world to me. Okay, here's a question, right? You guys said that it's going to be a huge leap, right? From what we got right now, what we're used to seeing, right? To what we're going to get. Okay, now here's a question, right? Real talk, hear me out. And this is both from Microsoft and Sony. Again, I'm not to toot my own. When we're talking about quote unquote PlayStation 4 Neo and the Xbox Scorpio, right? And of course, we was talking about you're going from 1.8 T flops to 4 T flops. That's a lot of mustard on a hot dog, right? Just talking about as far as consoles, and going from 1.3 to 6 T flops. I was expecting games to look. You understand that? Because that's a lot more power. And this is my opinion. The games look a little better, but not 6 to 7, 8 times better. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I can go back to playing on the Slim on either one of those guys. I gotta have a Pro or I gotta have the X. Will it be the same thing again? Especially if we're talking about, because it's going to be, like I say, cross-gen developing. The PS4 and the Xbox are not going anywhere anytime soon. These multi-plats are still going to come on these games.
No, because
Well, here's the thing, guys. See what it is. When it comes to next generation, it's all about new engines as well. Like Halo's got the new slip space. I'm pretty sure Unreal Engine 4 or 5 will be coming out. So when you go to the next generation, when it comes to the open world games, there'll be a lot more. You're gonna notice the difference.
Hold on, let the spec man speak, man.
And also too, I want to add that it's also gonna do ray tracing, right? So
what is that? Ray tracing. What does that mean to a console guy?
Simple term is ray tracing is the path of light. So
realistic lighting.
We'll get the path of light. So you'll see all the reflections on the water. You'll see anywhere where reflections are in real life, you'll see it in the game. And there's different ways they can use ray tracing, shadows. They can use it for different things. We don't know also if this APU or the PlayStation 5 is going to have a dedicated ray tracing chip as well. So that could play into it as well. And a lot of people dismiss ray tracing, saying, "Oh, look, it's on a 2080 Ti and it struggles. You can't even do 4K at it." Yet you have Crytek that released, like Sean was just saying 2 seconds ago, new engines. Crytek released an engine that does ray tracing on a Vega 56.
Mm-hmm. And it looked amazing.
It looked awesome. So with the new engines coming out, with the more power available to these developers, yes, the games will get better, and these developers will start to develop with these new generation consoles in mind, and not so much the old generation consoles. And you see a progression in the way that games look, and also too, the CPU just being a lot better also takes a lot of load off of the developers, right? They don't have to worry about the CPU. The CPU is not gonna be holding them back next generation. That's for sure. Now I just want to go through the rest of the specs real quick here. It says it supports 8K resolution. Now I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, how's it gonna do 8K resolution?" Now I don't think it's gonna do games natively at 8K. I think because I believe like in the next few years you're gonna see more 8K TVs come into the market. And Sony's gonna want to push their TVs or
wait. So, what do you think? 8K is damn. I'm all for new tech and stuff.
8K is early, but I'll be honest with you guys. It's
coming.
Whether you like guys, they wanna sell to the Kratos of the world. and they're
Yeah.
gonna bring out 8K because
Facts.
there's a market for it, right?
Yeah.
So it'll
Well,
be more for the elite. It's not necessary, and I don't think there's gonna be true 8K content for like 4 or 5 years, to be honest.
No,
with you.
listen,
But
Yeah,
listen,
I
like
wanna-
this.
I get my Sony Z9G next month
You
Is
in
it
a
next
different
month?
tax
Yeah,
bracket.
yeah.
in
You're
May.
talking
So
big money. You're
No,
talking
no,
big
no,
money.
listen.
You're in a
Here-
different tax bracket.
But
You
listen,
can't go down
no,
on
listen.
No, it doesn't matter.
No,
no.
this is what I'm saying, right?
This is the thing.
Whether you
Hey,
guys
keep
like it
it
or not, it's coming.
It's available.
And
It's
I get it.
available.
I get it. Some people still have a 1080p system. They didn't upgrade to 4K, but guess what? That's their problem. They waited 5-6 years.
Oh, wow.
Listen, it's true. They waited 5-6 years to get a TV. I mean, come on,
Receipt.
man.
I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go the
Hold
elitist
on.
road of Kratos, but I'll
This
say
is
this:
crazy.
8K
Did you hear
TVs
what
will
he
be
just
coming
said?
more. 8K TVs will be coming more in the next few years, but 8K content will not be coming.
Look,
No. Listen,
No, did
they're
y'all
gonna
hear
come
what
out with
Kratos
eight-
just said?
It's not about the 8K
Hold
content.
on.
It's about
No. Did y'all hear what Kratos just said?
Listen. Oh, go on.
Well, hold on. Let me pay the bill real quick. Hold up, shout out to my brother to Ruham for the 1100 bits, man. I appreciate it, good brother. I'm going to spend that on some of the finest hookers and the finest Chiba. I appreciate it.
Look, y'all gotta listen to Kratos, man. Because the man is going to speak in wherever in the light of PlayStation is. He gonna bring PlayStation into the light.
Yeah.
But when Microsoft was out here pimping 4K, it was this notion that, man, people ain't even brought fake 4K TV. They still 1080p. Why they still doing it without the damn? And now Sony come out here with 8K.
Yo, Postal, I know your heart hurt right now. Go have some back.
Say, well,
CPI.
we know people got 1080p TVs and they went on to 4K, but that's their problem. That's
Post.
y'all gotta listen.
See, that's the thing, Post. You keep fighting. You keep
Hey,
fighting
I'm
this
not fighting,
2013 war.
Let me tell you something.
It's over.
Let me tell you something, bro.
Listen,
My whole
my daddy told me this, right? He always told me this. Time waits for no man.
Yes, sir.
No, this my whole thing is in looking at this whole situation. It's not just about the tech. We have processors from 5 to 10 years ago that's 8-core and multi-threaded, and even at that time games were still being produced only using one of those cores out of the 8. So my only thing is, in terms of where are the developers at in terms of multi-threading processing, learning how to develop and spread the resources across all those processors to take advantage of those 8 cores. We didn't see that. We didn't see that this year. We didn't see that this year.
Let me ask this real quick. That's not true. That's not true, actually, because these consoles have multi-threads on them, both the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox.
Yeah.
And that actually helped with PC development and actually progressed the coding of multi-cores going forward.
Well,
Now,
that's
with
what
the
I was
Ryzen, with the
questioning.
Ryzen CPUs in the last few years, multi-core is now a thing. You see Intel coming out with multi-core CPUs, so these developers are now leveraging all these cores. So that's a thing of the past.
Okay. All right. I had a question, right? And we got, I guess, put a I put this in today's terms and what's on the market or whatever the case may be, right? All right. So you saying, I'm just going back to these specs. Let me bring these specs back. Well, I have the specs here. Bring these specs back.
Okay, you want to go to the? It's also going to be backwards compatible with the PS4. It
No
says
brainer. No brainer.
Superb.
And a big thing is that it's going to have an SSD drive,
Okay. What does that mean? What does that mean? I know what
a
it means.
solid state drive.
Yeah,
So
solid
basically,
state.
it loads and reads the data
Faster.
a lot faster than a traditional hard drive. So they gave an example of a reduced
Loading time.
Spider-Man fast travel from 15 seconds to 0.8 seconds. So not even 1 second.
Second.
No
That's
load
a second.
times.
That's
Basically,
huge.
get rid of load time.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Who's this right here?
There's no one.
There's more. There's more.
Okay.
Hey, so to better explain it, right? So a mechanical hard drive, it's a big old disk. And you got a computer that has to search the disk to find certain stuff.
Okay.
You sound low, bro.
Solid state drive, it just pulls that information straight off the drive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's a question. I got a question for D in the
I
panel.
got a few hard drives open right now. I was doing some data.
I got a question for D from my man Giuseppe. Hit me on Facebook. He says, "Do you think these specs will be 100% accurate?"
Of course.
Well, AMD and Sony just confirmed it.
They confirmed it. Sony and AMD. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Confirmed it. There's nothing to debate. Like, I'll read it again for those that maybe just joined now and missed it.
Yeah,
Sue, the CEO of AMD.
Yeah.
she
Can you pull up the tweet? Can you pull up?
Yeah, I'll give you the tweet here. So I'll give you the tweet.
Hey, and before that, D, before that, Yoshida, he tweeted out this morning. He said it's going to be a very day to day with the little
in your inbox on Facebook.
All right.
What he said? What he said, Kratos?
He said it's going to be a very nice day to day with the smiley face. And Yoshida tweeted that out, and about 20 minutes later, that's when the AMD CEO posted what she posted, and then that's when the PlayStation Twitter retweeted the article, and before you know it, the whole internet went on fire.
And it's still
You
trending.
have it up on the screen, Z?
Okay, yeah. Let me make sure I have it up on the screen. Yes, I have it. I have
We're excited to expand our partnership with Sony on the next generation PlayStation console, powered by a custom chip with AMD Ryzen Zen 2 and Radeon Navi architecture, and a link to the article from Wired. Like,
Okay, here's a
what do you guys
question.
need?
Let me ask. Here's a question, right? I'm gonna keep it simple. Wait, hold on. He said, hold on.
Oh, they got that off Microsoft because Microsoft went to Wired the last couple generations.
Oh my God! Chicken grease alcohol, man.
Okay, I hear.
Honestly, I don't want to take time away from Sony today, because this is their day with the PlayStation 5 specs.
Thank you.
They're marvelous. But I will say this from a strategic standpoint, and just knowing how businesses work. If Sony already came out and announced this ahead of their PlayStation event, that's telling me that Microsoft is really going to announce something crazy.
Okay, hold on. Check this out. Hold on 1 second. What? A post.
Yeah.
Oh, do you see the chat? Can you see it?
Let me see. Yeah, I got you.
Stuart Stokes.
Stuart Stokes. Let me see here. Lord have mercy. Oh, let me get my mouse. I forgot I got dual monitors. Is my mouse on the other monitor? Okay, there we
You
go.
still got 1080p monitors?
Where's Stuart Stokes?
It's hold on. Stuart Stokes. It says, you know what screwed the Anaconda Xbox is dropping more hardware next month.
Oh, I got it. Okay. You know what screwed the Anaconda Xbox is dropping more hardware next month? Now I'm going to ask the panel, what is the point of the Xbox all digital? We ain't gonna say sad. I'm not saying that. We're gonna say all digital. I'm taking the S out of it. We ain't gonna do that. That's why I'm on the show. He said, I thought they wanted a cheap alternative. Get the brand in the household for xCloud, but that shit is $200. Microsoft has not come out and said it was $250. So at this point, I'm calling that speculation. Until they come out and say it's $250, I'm not going with it.
I'll say this:
Yeah.
the leak was a pretty reliable leak.
Yes,
with
that's
the
what
price.
it is.
So it is kind of looking like that. But hopefully,
Microsoft did not deny it. They didn't deny it.
The system hasn't been announced yet. It's not
Microsoft
out yet. So hopefully, Microsoft could take some feedback from this and maybe lower the price. I don't think they changed the system too much. I think they just basically took out the disk drive and just sealed it off. That's it. So,
and I heard it's supposed to come with about 4 or 5 games.
Well, let's
including Forza Horizon 3.
Yeah, but you hear a lot of stuff. You hear a lot of stuff.
I got to be honest. It's not a good price.
It's not a good price. It's not a good price.
Tester. This is a tester. They don't want to test it without the
disc. Wait. A test for what? A test to see how many people won't buy it. I mean, it's a test to see how many people won't buy it.
The Xbox all
digital.
If you look at the code name, Maverick is the code name for the Xbox all digital, and they might be talking about some of that on Inside Xbox. I think Clobriel or Brad said something about Microsoft talking about the all digital thing today, and it might be on Inside Xbox. I don't know, but it's code name Maverick. In like 22 minutes.
Oh, you about to get on your knees and pray, right?
I'll be on Mixer because I be getting that.
I want to ask you this though,
I be getting the free games and shit when you watch it on Mixer.
Alex, I want to ask you this though.
What's up, brother?
Seeing how Sony came out and announced these specs today, and they announced it early ahead of Microsoft, you don't think that Microsoft has something big cooking in the kitchen?
No.
Honestly, I think they have the same hardware. They're just gonna wait for.
Nah,
I don't think they have.
Listen. Wait.
That ain't what I heard.
Wait.
I'll finish it.
Not what I heard. That's not what I heard.
Let me tell you. No, let me tell you exactly what it is. No. D. Okay, here's the thing, right? No. This is what this means. This is mean that Sony is so confident it could come out early. No. Let me finish. No, think about it, right? Think about it. Sony is so confident they could come out and give leaks to their specs and not have to worry about anything because at the end of the day, I mean, listen.
I know that you have the Sony blood in you, and you know how Sony works.
D,
how work like that? Sony is not going to show their hand.
How long? D, how long does it take? Hold on a second. How long will it take a company to change its chips and its specs? How long?
Hold on a second.
How long?
Let me pay the bills real quick.
They've publicly gone on record and said that. So it's not like this is some mystery. Now, just from a smart man, a thinking man, why would you release your hand early like that, right? Because Microsoft has said from the get-go that their console is going to be the most powerful. Now
listen. Microsoft said that
that's a pretty
3
big
years ago.
To make.
Y'all been holding on to that for 3 years ago.
No,
let me tell you.
Microsoft said that 3 years ago, and y'all been holding. Unless Microsoft is going to drop this new console, this Anaconda, or whatever, way after the PS5.
I am quite confident that the Anaconda is going to be. Hold on a second.
How are you confident?
Say this real quick. I am confident.
Just say Anna. Don't say Anaconda, brother. Just say Anna or something. It just don't sound right.
Man. The Xbox 2. I'm quite confident that the Xbox 2 is going to be.
Why do you say that though?
Can I get these words up, please? I think the next Xbox 2 is going to be more powerful than the PlayStation. However, I don't think it matters at the end of the day if they don't have the games to produce it, right? So, of course, I have more confidence in Sony's games at this point in time, even though I don't think they're going to have the
okay.
Let me pay the bill. Let me pay the bill. Shout out to AP, the shooter with the 50 bits. He say, with this announcement, no matter what Xbox announces at E3, that should be a layup for them. They will still lose. These niggas in this chat. All that power which Xbox will have more. He said because they have not instilled confidence in their consumer base. Periods, like the female say. Periods.
Is someone that teaches academics on the show?
He say Uncharted 5. Horizon Zero Dawn 2, Spider-Man 2, God of War 3 is what sold the PS5.
Oh, and Stuart Stokes.
Okay, Stuart Stokes. Let me see here. Let me come down. Let me see. Okay, Stuart Stokes with the 50 bits too. He say the SAG comes with Forza Horizon 3, Sea of Thieves, and Minecraft. Now, why bundle these games when they're all Game Pass? And speaking of Game Pass, when is the last time that shit was full price? It's been $1 or $2 for the last 8 months. Hell, once they bundling it with Burger King kids meals at one time, shit is looking real spooky. Right. Let me tell y'all something.
Oh God.
I have no doubt or no fear from what I know what's going on that Microsoft is going to deliver. I know they're going to.
All right, let me ask you.
Now, look, we can sit up here. I'm gonna sit up here, and y'all can talk all the. Nope, y'all can sit up here. Y'all can talk all the trash. Y'all can say all that stuff. I'm just saying, it's the reason that they're real quiet right now. And
real quiet?
Because they shook, nigga. Because they shook.
Hold on.
They shook.
To speak on what D said. It is a little early for them to be announcing these specs. I do think they're gonna have an event at a certain point this year. To where they really announce the system. I think the system will get announced this year. I just think the PS5 is not coming out this year. I think towards the end of the year, either after E3 or probably they might surprise us before E3. But I think Sony will have an event this year announcing the PS5 and for next year. For next year launch.
I got a question for D and
the specs is dope though. The specs
I don't think it's gonna be March though. I think it's gonna be close to the like around Black Friday.
No, I think it's gonna be March.
Yeah, I think
March.
Because
all the
Nintendo
reports
shows
that
you
we're
that
hearing
you don't
behind the
have to
scenes
wait
is
on the
it's gonna be
holiday.
early 2020.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me pay the bills right quick. And shout out to SS9 Vegeta for the $5 donation via PayPal. He said something for the show. I got a question. My man here cheating. He's just on Facebook. And so he says, Zaya, ask your group this question. We know the PlayStation 5 will be rising. I guess we having rising and Navi. But in these once rumors stated, be PS5 agent to be 14 teraflops. Mark did not say 14 teraflops. In fact, he did not give a reading about the GPU power. Just name. Do you think 14 teraflops is real for $500? I don't think you will see a 14 teraflops. No way in hell. As the group's question. Yeah, I don't. 14.
I don't think he knows yet. They normally like finalize the clock speed.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this real quick. The OG Xbox One cost $500 at launch, and that was 1.3 T-flops. The Xbox One X is 6 T-flops, and it costs $500. What makes you listen? No. But you see what I'm saying, right? The difference between 1.3 and the difference between 6 versus the difference between 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is not out of the realm of imagination to think that we're going to get a 12 to 13 T-flop. So I don't understand why these people think that it's
I think the T-flops is going to be in double digits for both consoles, for both systems. Shout out to AP the shooter with the 50 bits. He said, if I had a brick of some of that Colombian good, I would need Xbox as fiends, because once that shit gone, y'all gonna sniff this salt like it's the same thing, dummies. You know, AP real disrespectful.
Hey, one more. We got one more.
And shout out to Maroon Win with the 50 bits. He say Xbox isn't gaining any more new fans. No one except the hardcore Xbox care about Xbox. Sony can't announce news without having to factor in the Xbox that much. Example, sad news versus PS5 specs. Celebration versus ridicule.
Okay, hold on. Shout out to my brother SS9 Bajima, who also dropped another $5 in the PayPal. He said, face it, post. Xbox already lost his fan place to PlayStation. Turn that down for your daddy, please, Mike. I said, in fact, well, here's a question, right? And maybe we can agree with this, right? You said 14 T-flops, right? Rumor, right? Now, in terms of putting that, like, I don't know much about AMD cards, and it's more of a D thing, right? Hey, D, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
In terms of what AMD has, I really don't know much about AMD cards. How you say? Nvidia just came out with the 2080, the 260, 2060, 270, and with the 2070 80 and the 2070 80 Ti. I said it right? The 2080 Ti, 2070, and the 2060, right? What? And I don't know the G flops on those damn. I have a 2080 Ti. I couldn't tell you the T flops on that damn thing. Before that, we had the GTX 1080 Ti, right? What are the specs for the GTX 1080 Ti?
1080 Ti. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's about 12 teraflops.
Okay.
It's like, 10 to 12, 11, 12. Something
okay.
Like that.
I thought it was 11.2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
AMD's
1080 Ti is 11 T-flops, right?
Yeah, AMD's
11.2.
AMD's latest GPU, the Radeon 7, I believe that one is almost 14 teraflops.
Hey, can somebody mute their mic?
All right, hold on, Mike. You gotta turn that shit down. I'm working, Daddy working. Hold on. What you trying to spell?
Run that back.
Reaction. R-E-A. Hold on 1 second, Philip. R-E-A. C-T-I-O-N.
You lying? Don't mess up.
Hey, you better cut that. You better cut that out of the screen.
No, I'm saying I'm spelling it for No, because she doing this in the screen in front of me. She's doing this in the screen. R-E-A-C-T-I-O-N. R-E-A-C-T-I-O-N. Yeah, she had to do like Alexa, how you spell reaction?
Somebody go grab only that part of your video.
Hey, nigga, I know the hell. I know the hell I'm spelling. She on the screen. She hitting the wrong. I'm telling her she's on the screen in front of me. Hold on. That's a question. That's what I want to say, right? Should I have to rate the intro? You said reaction, fuck nigga. I got it, man. She She's spelling it straight in front of me. Listen.
Break the empire with the 50 bits.
Yeah, look.
Xbox Garner Snake might come out with a little more power, but then new and old studios won't take advantage of the power like they did in this generation.
Okay, well,
Break the empire.
okay, hold up. And my man said Xbox isn't getting any more new fans. No one wants to sex that the hardcore Xbox care about. Sony can announce news without having a factor in the Xbox. But example, sad news versus PlayStation 5, celebration versus video ridicule. Good point.
I got that one already.
Oh, I'm sorry. But, we got one more. What's up, Chad, man? You said the last one?
Shout out to Chad, man, with the 50 bits. Xbox is dead. Post up. The new Xbox has been announced with 1.3 teraflops and no disk drive.
Okay. No. This is the question that I had for D or whatever the case. Like now, like I said, when it comes, I guess the cream of the crumb last year before the RTX series came out was the 1080 Ti, right?
Which is.
Whatever.
No, I was going to say which is 11.3 terabytes.
Okay, cool. Now, and just thinking hypothetically speaking, all right. Now we have the Pro 4T flops. You have the X, which is the 6. Now I've always said this, right? And this is what I said. I don't know much about the tech stuff. I said at a minimum, we should expect the PlayStation 5 to be at least twice as powerful as the Pro, right? And maybe even the X at least 10 T flops, right? I'm just talking about in a closed environment, right? In a closed environment, and I understand engines do change, right? Engines do change. Maybe midway through next generation, I don't think Unreal Engine 4 is going to go to Unreal Engine 5 anytime soon. But like I said, for what we had, which was been told to me, breaking down layman's terms, these new consoles will be able to run what we have on existing engines at 4K 60. Not saying that you're still going to get Assassin's Creed 4K 30, because I think given the options, they're going to make the game more prettier, which is going to catch on to with the eye what we see, than actually go, like I said, for 60 frames. I still expect turn that shit down, Maya.
Not to cut you off, but no pun intended. Next gen is not gonna be it's not gonna be 30 frames per second. The majority of games.
No, I think it's gonna be 60. It's got an
8-core 16-thread CPU. You're damn right. Games are gonna be 60.
Listen, the only reason most games aren't 60 frames now is because of that weak CPU.
Okay, think about this, right?
And now also hold on a second. So now the 1080 Ti, which is let's just call it last generation CPU from NVIDIA, is 11.3 teraflops. The newest AMD GPU is the Vega. They shrunk it down to 7 nanometer, and that's about 14 teraflops, 13.5 to 14 teraflops. Now, Vega technically is the old architecture because Navi is going to be a new architecture, and it's going to be a true 7 nanometer node that it was like designed and built for 7 nanometers. So the performance is going to be much greater than what we have on Vega. And if we're already approaching 14 teraflops on Vega, a real 7 nanometer node, it's going to be pretty high. To be honest with you.
I want to say this though. This news is strategic away from E3. Sony brought this news out not just to throw it out. They did this strategically. They might not be at E3, but for the next up into E3, people will be talking about the PS5. And I do think additional in terms of the megahertz and stuff like that will come out leading up to E3. So they might not be there, but Sony will make it where they are the talk of E3 despite them not being there. Okay. So this was
okay. Here's another question, right? And again, I'm keeping it simple, right? Comparing the consoles that we have now, right? The specs, and comparing to previous hardware, the 360 and the PS3. Looking at those CPUs compared to those CPUs, you would say, you know what? It's a no-brainer. We can get 1080p, whatever, 60 or whatever. And that wasn't the fucking case to be, because again, they, some engines are CPU heavy, and some engines again are more GPU heavy, right, or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying because it is a console. I'm just being honest. It is a console, and
I'll just cut you off again, see. But in all honesty, the Jaguar cores are garbage. Okay. those are they're just.
Oh, I'm not negating
They're
that.
from the 1700s.
Listen, but listen. All I'm asking you to do is think about it like this, hypothetically speaking.
Okay,
compare those Jaguars and compare those Jaguars to whatever the hell the 360.
It's just you can't even compare them, and I'll tell you why. Now, traditionally, people say, "Oh, it's going to be in a console, so it's not going to be able to be clocked as high. You're not going to get as much out of those CPUs." But this is going to be on 7 nanometer, so it's very efficient. It doesn't run as hot. You don't have to worry about cooling it as much, and because of that, you're going to get a the reports are coming out that this is going to be clocked at 3.2.
No, that's not what. No, this is what I mean. This is what made you understand it this way, right? I'm asking you to comparing the Jaguar, right? The Cores, whatever the case may be. And of course, it sounds very, very old and dated. Now we're gonna take this back to 2013 when these consoles were new, when these consoles were fresh, right? That's how fucking Digital Foundry came up, right? Okay. And I'm asking you, comparing what we got in 2013 when we were excited, Rise, Son of Rome, and Killzone. Comparing that then to what we previously had, it was like night and day compared to the 360 and compared to the PS3, right? So, we were still questioning whether we were going to get games to this. Of course, Jaguar sounds very shitty now. But it didn't sound, even though it was old and outdated.
That's not true. At the time, it was shitty. Everyone was like, what the fuck are you guys putting Jaguar cores into that? That was the one thing that everyone was puzzled by. Nobody liked that huge.
Listen. At the end of the day, what Sony has been able to do with those shitty Jaguar CPUs and cores has been astonishing, and it's been amazing. And it shows you it's not really about how much power you have. It's about what you do with the power that you have.
Okay, hold up. Let me pay the bills right quick. They got some slander at my man D. My man D, listen here, is here to clear his name. Gotta give my man D a break here. He says here, O'Malley J says, Z, did you see that fraud ass motherfucker crap Jamer on crying on Twitter? He said crying on Twitter, talking about he won a motherfucking contract. I should break his fucking jaw. Also, how much is to get D bum ass off this podcast? Talking to spec talk. My 7-year-old, we said my 7-year-old has been more more accurate. This motherfucker's a fraud. He got to go.
Okay, all right. Let's address this one. I can't wait. Now,
wait. This is one question. Hey, D. Before you explain yourself, what the hell happened with crap with this contract? I'm hearing about this contract.
Yeah,
let's talk about Jaden.
I watched part of his podcast, and he basically said, if I heard someone's giving out contracts, I want to sign these contracts.
I listen. I'm gonna save this for another show, and I'm not gonna be messy. Fuck it, I'm gonna release the goddamn things. He's forcing my hand to do this right here, right? But again, but he also said somebody stole.
Wait, Z, I'm gonna have to stop you now. He signed the contract earlier with me, and therefore that is my client, and therefore I have to represent him, me and Yoshida. So we have to talk.
Hey, fuck that. Hey, bro, listen. Crap better sign for the veteran minimum, man. He better sign for the veteran minimum. Hold up. Listen, before D explains himself in this tab, we pay the bills right quick. He said, Chad, man, say, yo, Z. PS4 games are going to still look better than any first party. Yeah, I want to talk about that too. On Xbox too, they make them off an adaptive controller. My man, shout out to my brother Vector. He says 100. Hey, can you imagine if Microsoft next generation ends up being the more powerful and cheaper than the PlayStation 5? Personally, if I was Microsoft, I was sick and tired of taking L. I would undercut Sony PlayStation 5 just to show them that I have money, currencies to burn away. Think about it. Microsoft is almost $1 trillion company, while Sony has $448 billion to $60 billion in the bank. I forgot to mention, and all the studios they just bought. Just to add this, I want D to explain this about his prediction. I want to say this right here. The problem. Wait, hold on. Give me 1 second, D.
First of all.
Hold on, 1 second. I'll play the last one.
When I report on rumors,
hold on, D. I got you. I'll pay one more bill. You can get it. You got the floor yours. Well, listen, to answer your question, Vector, before I let D explain this stuff about his predictions. Here's the thing. As far as Microsoft, I'm gonna tell you right this, and this is sad. This is the thing, and this is the problem with me, in my opinion. Microsoft doesn't care about winning. It's about money at the end of the day. If that was the case, the Xbox One X when it came out at $500, they would have tried to compete with Sony with the Pro. You know what I mean? Then they're not going to that. Even when we're looking at the rumors that the Xbox One S all digital is $250 fucking dollars. Microsoft's not going to take a hit on the hardware that much. They're not. That's just we can want that all in one. I'm gonna say this again. Microsoft doesn't care about winning; they care about making money. This is the guys on this truth. They're not undercutting no goddamn body. You know what I mean? But yeah, D, the floor is yours.
All right. So for those of you that can't difference the difference of me reporting on a rumor and you going to Twitter and seeing someone put up a tweet, do your research, because when I report on something as a rumor, I report it as such, and I will leave the link in my video to where I got the story from.
For sure.
Starters.
Okay.
Now, number 2, the Xbox One X. Yes, I got the prediction wrong on what I thought was going to be inside of it. The silicone that I wanted to be inside of it kind of was available at the time, but a little bit after they kind of finalized the Xbox One X. So unfortunately, what I wanted to be in it didn't get to be in that. So yeah, you know what? You in the tech business, you get some predictions wrong. I'm not the only outlet that got shit wrong. Digital Foundry thought that it would have Vega in it too. So like, it is what it is. And Assassin's Creed thing, that 60 frames per second thing, the guy was fucking dev. I thought he was a dev. He bamboozled me. You know what? It's a learning experience, and you know what? It is what it is. Now, when it comes to these next generation specs, for the longest time, I've been that it's gonna have Ryzen in it. For the longest time, I said it was gonna have Navi with it. I've done various videos of it. I've provided my links for it. I said it would have ray tracing. I said that it would do 4K. I said that it would be capable of 60 frames per second, ray tracing, yada yada yada. The list goes on, and I haven't just said this like last week. I've been saying this for a long time. So it's about time y'all give me my due and my respect.
Hey, listen, you gotta take it. Hey, listen, you gotta take it with tongue in cheek. I still get teased about the goddamn Joe Montana, and the developer himself told me that. But hold on, let me pay the bills right quick. He said, AP the shooter. He said, it's rules for this shit, Z and Kratos. Don't let that fuck nigga shitter back into this community. Shout out to AP the shooter. Scrolling down. I got one more. Mighty Mouse, my brother. He said PlayStation should have waited until after E3. If Xbox really cared about the hardcore, sad to say they undercut the price. A Mouse, that's been evident for the last 2-3 years. Microsoft no longer cares about their hardcore. Let me play the last bill, and you got the floor is yours. Okay, and who the hell? I just seen somebody go off. Okay, Chad man said, "Yo, D, when they said Whitney Houston was on coke or R. Kelly was touching a little girl, was that just a rumor, nigga?" And man. And King B, where did D get that 4K sketch rumor from? This dude is a dust dealer. And last one, undercut for what, bro? From AP said, undercut for what, bro? You don't have to ship for me to play for cheaper. Come on, sniff this up with the rest of these Xbox, man, behind balls. That's a good point. Where as far as the, and listen, and we can again. Well, you guys know my record here or whatever the case. Making you ask me, am I going to interview crap? Listen, fuck all that. Here's the thing, right? And I know this is supposed to be about Sony and these amazing specs that we just got. And again, I don't know what all this shit means on paper, but you guys are telling me it's going to be, my face is going to bill. That's all I ask for. I'm a very shallow man. I take beauty before brains, the American way, fat asses, fast cars, and apple pie. That's me, right? But again, just talking about across the street, but to me, and listen, to lead to what Kratos was saying, to me, this looks as a gutsy and a ballsy move to show their hand without really showing a hand. This is what we got. Now, we know Microsoft is not going to be Sony's not going to be at E3. So, already more or less confirmed that Microsoft is going to come there talking about new hardware. By them, my question is, did they just snatch the power crown back from Microsoft? And then 2, like I said, will this even matter? Because it's something I also said, D, and maybe you can add to this, that if Microsoft was talking about no generation left behind, and even these guys try to argue with me on BTST about this, if they're talking about no console left behind, right? And if Sony is just making exclusive games for the PlayStation 5 to take of it, and like I said, me in their opinion, it's going to look better if Microsoft is still trying to put Sea of Thieves 2 on 1.2 teraflops of hardware, with 1.3 teras of hardware.
Okay, yeah. I'll say this.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but the no gamer left behind. First of all, the PlayStation 5 is going to be backwards compatible with the PlayStation.
Yes.
But I think what Microsoft means by no gamer left behind is basically you could take your Xbox 360, you could take your Xbox One titles, and you could take them forward to the next generation of consoles.
The
I think
360?
I think well, there's some 360 games that are going to be playable. So if they're playable now on the one, they're going to be playable on the next generation console, right? It's just that you can bring your catalog along. But there's going to come a point in time where they're going to stop making games for the Xbox One and they're going to concentrate on just the X and the next generation console. That's going to happen now. I think what happened here is Sony. These companies basically have an idea of what each other is doing. So when Microsoft comes out and said, "Listen, we're going to have the most powerful console," we don't know what R&D they've done with AMD, what they're going to have in their console. But when they say that, I'm gonna take it at face value.
But they said it. They said it 3 to 4 years ago.
Let me just make this point. Then you can talk. So you made me lose my train of thought. So I think that Microsoft is going to have the more powerful console. I think Sony coming out and getting ahead of this is to get hype and to get mind share on their side now.
A brilliant way to do it. Brilliant way to do it.
I also think Sony they're not stupid either. I did a story on a couple days ago. I did a few stories. I did a story on the pretty much looks like it's the PlayStation 5 SoC. It's about the APU. It's about to go into production, and it pretty much confirmed what we're learning today. That was in that leak. And also there's another leak out there stating that Sony's going to take $100 loss on the PlayStation 5 and that they're going to sell it for $399. Now, if they do sell that console for $399 and they come out earlier than Microsoft, which rumored that it's going to come out like in March or something, you know what? They're going to have a good leg up on Microsoft, even though Microsoft will have a more powerful console with the price being lower and the legacy of the PlayStation exclusives. And I have great confidence that the PlayStation 5 exclusives are going to look fantastic when these developers have access to 12 teraflops at least of performance. So it's going to be very interesting, but this is a game of chess right now.
Wait, hold on. Let me pay the bill. Hey, Stuart, you being real messy. He said I called Xbox support and asked them why Forza Street was on the Xbox. They told me from the blacks at Microsoft, fuck those niggas. Okay. Now, D, what I took from that when they say no gamer left behind, because even looking at the quote unquote the X Cloud, right? They don't have the X in the cloud. They have standard Xbox One S hardware, right? So we talk about no gamer left behind, and like going past, you said quote unquote generations. No longer would your controllers get old. I understand that's a little different than how you saying being backwards compat. That means saying like, and again, this is what this whole way of thinking of Microsoft thinking, right? From again, and it's cool. I understand to have software at the front part and not sell, whatever, and hardware take the succeed. But here's my thing, in my opinion, and to me this hasn't changed. It's worked successful for Nintendo. It's worked successful for Sony. Is that you have to have compelling software for your box, for your box to sell. Now, again, if you're coming out with brand new but here's the thing: both of these consoles are going to be $500. You can hear it here first. If you don't believe me, next year, $500 goddamn dollars across the goddamn board. Nobody going to be $400. It's going to be $500 goddamn dollars, right? And if you want someone to buy your $500 goddamn box, you're going to need something. I'm not just talking about what's going to PC. I'm talking about console guys. If I can still play Gears of War 6 on my Xbox One X, you don't think that's going to hurt the sales?
No, it's not.
Shit. Hell yeah.
It's not, because the games are going to look substantially better on the next generation console. That just like
here's the
60 to the Xbox One, from the PS3 to the PS4, they switch over. Now it's if they're bringing PlayStation 4 games forward to the PlayStation 5, that tells me there's going to be at least a year to 2 years of cross-gen development. Okay, so they're not going to just dismiss. $100 million PlayStation 3 owners. That's the way you think, but that's not the way a corporation thinks. I'm just being honest.
Here's the thing that we got to listen to me. This is we got to call men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Before I said that quote, AP the shooter said, that shit could be $600. My SSI checkers on deck for the purchase. Laughing my ass for the PS4. Here's the thing: what you don't understand, right? What you say cross-gen development, right? Even the sales of the PlayStation 4, or even with a little bit of the Xbox, didn't begin to pick up until they stopped making Call of Duty for the PS3 and the 360.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. There's 100 million customers out there. They cannot throw
I'm not negating that, but this is what I'm telling you. Sony, I mean, I'm not talking about multi-plats. I'm talking about first-party offerings. And of course, you're going to have cross-gen development from the multi-plat companies, the Activisions, the EAs. But again, hear me out. If you look at what's Microsoft's number one seller, and if you look at Sony's number one seller, it's not the Pro and it's not the X. It's the Slim from Sony and the S from Microsoft. You know what I mean? Yep. We like the hardcore. We are the last of the Mohicans. We are the gotta have the best, brightest. But there again, so many more gamers out there that outnumber us 10-1 who don't care about. Long as it looks good to them on TV, man, what's the difference? Man, I don't need no X. Like I was talking to my cousin, you got the X, I got me an S for 200 some odd. I don't need for shit. My shit look good as hell on my TV. And a lot of people think that way. You understand what I'm saying? We're looking at shout out to my brother Chad, man. We played with Chad, bought my ass the other day. He on the S. You know what I mean? She said, man, ain't that big of a difference between the X and the S. It's a lot. Hey, my bad. My bad. I ain't
the only people who say that they are still on 1080p TVs. Hey, you play 4K content on the 4K TV, it's a wrap going back to 1080p.
But
and you know that.
You bought your TV at Black Friday.
And also, listen, and I also got to shout out to my man Stuart Stokes. Say, D, we got to drop the graphics and the resolution narrative. The second best-selling consoles are the Switch and the PS4 Slim, the ordering L's, which is the truth. It was about graphics and shit. They
don't want to hear that, Z. They don't want to hear that, though. They want to hear that everyone wants the XXX. And here's at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many T-flops you have. It doesn't matter about the power. The Switch has shown you. The PlayStation 4 has shown you. You create great games, people will buy. At the end of the day, I hope the next Xbox is the world's most powerful console again, so we can have the same result. So these guys will finally stop hanging on that power narrative that has not shown them any results.
Credo, you gonna catch a lot of L's, boy. You got a lot of L's coming.
Up. The X has not won one single MPD. So
I don't give a fuck about MPD.
Oh man,
let me tell you something. That's y'all go-to. Every time y'all switch the narrative so much. When it was about power at this beginning of this generation, it was all PS4 is king, 1080p makes you a better gamer. It was it's 1080p on the PS4, 720 on the Xbox.
What are you playing right now?
The Xbox coming out with a powerful console now it's not about power. It's about content.
Oh my god!
And then y'all don't know what y'all want to do.
Here's the thing,
and then when you lose the battle,
you don't have the games.
It went from power to content to MPD.
Let me ask Post up this question.
Y'all don't know what
a whole year before the X came out. The Pro was on the market. That was the world's most powerful console. If they cared about power, why didn't these motherfuckers spend the first 5 years of this generation worrying about power? They waited, right? They waited with the OG Xbox. They waited that long to get the X before they try to claim superiority. You done shown already that you're lying to yourself. You don't have the games. You don't have the games or anything else or VR.
They're announcing all digital power. They're announcing the all digital box on Inside Xbox.
Wait, Inside Xbox?
It is priced at $249.
You got a live L.
Hey, yo, hold up.
Got a live L. Hey, what was you saying, Post? Go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Hey, yo. hey, look.
Hold on.
Somebody also called the white gloves.
Hey, yo. Hey, homie, let me pay the bills right quick. My brother Stuart Stokes says, speaking of the Switch, has anyone heard from Baron Black Ass? That man disappeared at the Octopath debate. What happened? And my brother AP the Shooter, think about this. I can buy Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us 2 on my Pro, and then turn right around and slide the disc in my PS5. The load times are faster and under press graphic. It would be in 100 million plus living room again. Ain't no way for greatness. I hear fuckers post pop and Molly sweating, yelling and shit. Some nigga post and pop the Molly. That's all that I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Don't forget about the auto remaster tech too.
Hey, yo,
who?
Hey, yo, on a side note,
the auto remaster tech.
I gotta say this though.
I don't know.
Coming out Day and it's
That's
not
that's
that-
Xbox
they're-
all digital console.
They're like a
small
big
time.
bully, man. Like they just slapped Xbox.
Well, again,
Xbox.
And he brought out the white gloves too.
Yeah, it's not
Lord,
right,
Damn.
oh, we taking L's right now. Lord.
Alive, baby.
hey, yo, here's a question before we get the hell up out of here, D. And just the chat or us here before we go, right? He said they brought out the gloves or whatever the case may be. All I'm going to say as far as, and it's something with far as Sony and how them being able to control the narrative, even control the conversation, right? And maybe it's not fair because we have been hearing about hardware from Microsoft, right? And to be fair, and it's one thing if we talk about hardware from Microsoft, and there's been some games to go along with, or even them buying studios.
L, man, this is an L.
But here's the thing, but even like I see, even so much of Microsoft buying studios and different LLCs, we haven't had any new game announcements. Like I said, their offerings for the last 3 years has been very, very lackluster. You guys even try to argue me about Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. I told you motherfuckers, swear that wasn't the answer. Now, all is forgiven. The only one I'm not forgiving is Crap Gamer. All of you guys have a clean slate with me, all right? D with the coke smoking, everything is everything everything is a clean slate. But what I'm saying is this, right? I'm the fact that when Microsoft has an inside Xbox today, right?
Yeah, it's on right now, and I gotta
Right
say,
now.
not to cut you off, Z, but the Rage 2 footage that they're showing looks incredible.
I'm gonna switch to that and do a part two, so I'm gonna go over there
Yeah,
in a minute.
they're showing it on the PC.
Oh, okay. But now, with that being said, though, right? We're gonna actually we're gonna close.
I had to get you, D. I had to get you.
We're gonna close the show with that. 'Cause I'm gonna see what Microsoft I can clown about this goddamn show. I'm not so sure. Like I said again, D, you can add. I'll give you last word of the day. I'm not so sure no more if Microsoft has the power narrative.
Yeah, no, just from a company standpoint, you're not going to come out so many months ahead of your release, ahead of E3, ahead of your own PlayStation experience, if you don't want to get ahead and get some gamers' mind share. And like we've been hearing rumors for the longest time that the console is going to come out early 2020. And that also too would point at them having lesser hardware, and they want to get out there in the market and like get mind share. Because at the end of the day, it's like people say exclusives don't matter. I'm not one of those people. I think exclusives do matter. And like we said earlier in the show, look what Sony's been able to do with like 1 point something teraflops.
Yeah.
What are they going to be able to do with 12 teraflops? Those games are going to look incredible and captivate people. And you know, if you got like a good 7-8 months head start and you got those exclusives on there, you do gain a lot of mind share. Microsoft has an uphill battle. Like the power narrative is great they have that it'll be more powerful, but at the end of the day, if they don't have the games that showcase that power, and if they don't have the games that are the same caliber from Sony, I don't know what to say. And to be honest with you, I think they're self-aware of this. That's why they went and acquired all of these studios, and I think they're gonna put the work in. I think they know what they have to do. They have to have games at least on par with what Sony's delivering. And if Microsoft can do that next gen, they'll be fine. If they can't, they'll be done.
All right. Last bill to be paid. Here we go. AP Solutions said Denzel on Frank Lucas. Frank Lucas on those American Games. Dude that spilled the drink on the Xbox. You don't rub that shit. You block that shit. That's $50,000. That's $50,000 alpaca. You don't wipe that shit. You block that shit. That's shit. You know what I mean? But listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for rocking out live. And I want to say this again. I know I keep saying the same thing. I do apologize again for the lack of content. The Book of Jobs have been on me, you know what I mean? Got another goddamn surgery this morning. Oh, I got maybe 2 more, and I'm, maybe through the woods. I had to learn to walk again, so I ain't gonna have nothing but time, man, but stop my kneecap from going to sleep. Y'all laughed at me. Told you my motherfucking kneecap went to sleep. I said, how the fuck your kneecap go to sleep? Shit went to sleep, bro. But anyway, I'm gonna check out this Xbox Live. What's this called? Inside Xbox show?
Inside Xbox. Inside Trash Box.
Listen. Z, check it out, though, man.
Yeah.
Sony, I mean, they already had us sold, but just with these specs, whatever, they got sold day one, and you say, fuck Xbox.
Damn.
Wipe your ass with it.
Hey, Parker.
Being an Xbox guy,
No one never listens to a dumbass.
being an Xbox guy, these specs are day one buy for day one.
Oh yeah. I mean, You know what I mean? It is what it is, man.
Hey,
Post
D,
day one watch.
D, let me ask you this question, D. If you had the PS5 with these specs, and you had the Xbox 2 Anaconda, whatever, with just a slight, let's say one T-flop more, or let's say two T-flops more, which one, and you only had one choice, which one would you get?
You know what? I'm gonna just be honest. Some people aren't gonna like this, but I'm just gonna be honest. If that were to happen, I would probably just get a PlayStation 5, and the reason being is that I can enjoy my Xbox games on my high-end PC. So,
thank you, man. Thank you for being honest.
Good job,
There's a lot of other people that are going to repeat exactly what you said to themselves because they know that already. Right now, you can play all those Xbox games on your PC.
Yeah.
So that's the position that Microsoft has kind of put themselves in, and maybe they're hoping that this whole cloud stuff go where people won't have to care about the hardware. They just
I'm gonna
carry your games on, man.
I ain't gonna let you two dudes get away with this. Benchmarking and playing games is two different things.
Most PC guys, they're just PC guys. They don't mess with consoles, and most console guys are just console guys. They don't mess with PC. So I don't think it's really going to be an issue for the console guys. Some of them will just probably get both, maybe if Microsoft can just produce the exclusives to give them a reason to get it.
This race super dope.
They better hope crossplay's not day and date next generation. Else, it's a wrap.
You know what? That's the number one. These are a few things that I want for generation. Of course, I want 4K 60. You know, if you can't get 4K, give me 60. I want better AI, and the number one thing I want for next generation is crossplay because. Like, you know, sometimes I'm on my computer. Yeah, sometimes I'm benchmarking. A lot of times I'm playing games as well. But I play most of my games these days on the PC. And like most of my friends, to be honest with you, are on the console. On the PC, it's, you know, it's kind of weird meeting people on there and like getting a crew together. Because most people play multiplayer on consoles. So, you know, it would be better if it was crossplay because I personally wouldn't have to double dip on my game.
It'll work better. Crossplay work better for the PC players, though. They're long as fuck over there.
Yeah, all right, well.
Like Amish or something.
Yo, they showing some gears, man.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen.
They announced Xbox Game Pass Ultimate already, and then they announced Xbox
listen, I'm stopping the stream right now, but if you guys want to stay, I'm on the stream inside Xbox for those that want to stick around in the chat, but I'm about to stop the stream here, and I can sit back and laugh at Microsoft with their...
You gonna stream it? You gonna stream it?
Yeah, I'm gonna stream it right now in this show right now. Listen, but I'm gonna come right